Hi, and welcome to a Life Soul podcast, where we explore personal growth, high performance, and intentional living. I am Wasim Balani, and I believe life isn't just about getting through the day, it's about becoming fully alive in everything we do. Through my journey, whether in medicine as a heart rhythm cardiologist, cycling and running, or personal development, I have learned that success isn't just about reaching goals, but about who we become along the way. This podcast is here to inspire and challenge you to push your limits, cultivate discipline, and live with purpose. Join me each week as we dive into ideas, reflections, and practical strategies to help you grow into your best self. So let's get started. Hey, my friend, welcome back to a Life Soul podcast. Wherever you're tuning in from, whether you're driving, walking, sitting down with a cup of coffee, or just taking a moment to yourself, I'm really grateful you're here with me today. Sometimes life gets so busy and overwhelming that we don't really stop and think about how fast it's all going. We're caught up in the routine, goals, stress, distractions, and we forget how fragile and short this life actually is. Lately, I've been feeling the weight of that, the speed of time, the moments we don't get back. And I've been asking myself some big questions, not just about success or productivity, but about the meaning of life. Questions like, am I making this life count? Am I really showing up for the people I love? Am I really living in a way that aligns with what matters most? And that's what I want to talk about today. Because life is short, shorter than we think. And when we realize that, it changes everything. This thought came to me when I got to my 40s recently. One day I sat quietly for a few moments, and it just hit me that more than half of my life may already be over. And I started to think, what did I really do with it? What have I built? What impact have I made on my family, my community, and the people around me? That moment made me pause because I realized how fast time has flown. So much of my life has been filled with busyness, good things, sure, work, responsibilities, goals, but I also started to see how easy it is to let days blur into weeks and weeks into years. How easy it is to get so caught up in the small details of life that we lose sight of the big picture. And the big question that kept ringing in my mind was, did my life matter? I pictured myself laying on my deathbed one day, maybe decades from now, maybe sooner, only God knows, and I saw the movie of my life playing before me, moments flashing by, people I loved, things I said, times I stayed quiet, opportunities I chased, and the ones I missed. All of it playing back like a short video clip. And the question came to my mind is, would I be proud of what I see? Would I feel peace or regret? And then I imagined something deeper. The moment I stand before God and He asks me, as He asks all of us, how did you spend your life? Did you waste it? Or did you make it count? That moment will come and I won't be able to lie. I won't be able to point fingers or make excuses. It will just be me and my life, my choices, my time, my efforts, my relationships, my legacy. And that thought alone, it changed me. That reflection sparked something in me. I told myself, if I'm still here, breathing, moving, capable, then I still have time to make it count. I decided I did not want to live a passive life. I did not want to just go through the motions, checking boxes, achieving things, looking successful on the outside, while my soul stays numb inside. I chose to live fully, not recklessly, not anxiously, but intentionally. To use my voice, to serve with my gifts, to connect deeply, to give more, to expect less, to live each day knowing that it might be ordinary, but it can still be meaningful. And I chose to live in a way that, if this was my last year or last week, I could look back and say, I showed up. I gave it my heart. I did not just drift, I lived. And I made my life count. And as I sat with all that, the legacy, the accountability, the awareness that time is passing, I started thinking more deeply about the people I love the most. Not just what I'm doing with my time in general, but who I'm truly giving my time and energy to. And of course, the first people who came to my mind were my kids. Because as much as I want to make my life count through work, through service, through the impact I leave behind, I don't want to miss it at home. I don't want to be so focused on what I'm building that I forget to actually live inside the moments that matter most. There is this image and analogy I heard recently that I cannot stop thinking about. Time with your kids is like a melting ice cube. And it's such a simple picture, but the more I sat with it, the more it shook me. Because here's the thing, when you hold an ice cube, you can feel it cold, solid, real. You think you've got time. It's there in your hand, and it feels like it will last for a while. But even when you hold it, you can see it changing. You can literally watch it melt, drip by drip, moment by moment. And even though it's right in front of you, you cannot stop it. You cannot slow it down. You cannot pause it. You cannot ask for it to wait until you're done with your emails, your meetings, your phone scroll. It just keeps melting, quietly and inevitably. And eventually, all that's left is a wet palm and the memory that you had once, something solid in your hand, and now it's gone. That's what time with our kids is like. That's what life is like. At first, you feel like you have so much, so many mornings, so many car rides, so many bedtime stories, so many ordinary days ahead. But time with them starts melting faster than what we realize. And before you know it, they are teenagers, and then they're gone in their lives. And you're left wondering, did I hold it well? Did I make it count? And the truth is, sometimes I didn't. Sometimes I was distracted. Sometimes I was tired, or frustrated, or too focused on the wrong things. Sometimes I was physically there, but mentally far away. But that realization isn't meant to make us feel guilty. It's meant to wake us up. Because we cannot stop the melting, but we can still decide how we hold the time we're given. With love, with presence, with open eyes, and an open heart. And that's what it means to make life count. That's what I want for myself and for you. Because as a father of three, I know how fast time flies. And I don't want to be the kind of dad who looks back and realizes he was always around, but rarely truly there. And here is another statistic that shook me even more. Studies showed that by the time your child turns 18, you've already spent 80 or 90% of the time you ever spend with them. 80% gone before they even become adults, before they really understand who they are or who you are. And that's not to scare us, that's to wake us up. Because the truth is, we often treat time with our kids like there will always be more of it. We say, not now, or later, or I'm busy, or maybe this weekend. But the truth is, the clock is ticking. And that realization made me stop and think. I don't just want to be a provider. I want to be a memory maker. I want to be present in their lives. I want them to remember the feeling of being seen and loved, not just managed and directed. And the same exact concept goes for my parents. They're not getting younger, and the time I had left with them is so limited. There are only so many visits, conversations, laughs, and hugs left. I want to make them count. So, what does it really mean to make life count? It's not about being famous. It's not about building an empire or chasing the biggest dreams. It's about something much more personal and much more human. It's about being kind to people right in front of you. It's about choosing to forgive, even when it's hard and uncomfortable. It's about laughing a little more, rushing a little less. It's about being the kind of person who shows up, not just when it's convenient, but when it matters. Someone who listens, who notices, who says the words that need to be said. It's about taking a moment to sit with your child instead of scrolling on your phone. It's calling your parents just to hear their voices. It's saying, I love you before they walk out of the door, because you never know if that's the last time you'll get to. It's about doing the things that matter, even if they seem small. Holding your spouse's hand more often. Helping someone quietly without needing to be thanked. Letting go of the past hurt you've been carrying that's been weighing on your heart. Doing your work with integrity, even if there's no one watching. And remembering that every moment, every breath is a gift. To make life count means to live awake, to live with your soul tuned in, to stop waiting for some big event to validate your existence, and start living like this day is early enough, because it is. And that realization of life is short is what really drives me to keep showing up here. It's why I write in my blog. It's why I started this podcast. Why I share my thoughts out loud, even when they feel raw or unfinished. Because deep down, I don't want to look back one day and realize I was just going through the motions. I don't want to waste the life I've been given. And I don't want you to either. And as someone who believes that this life is a trust from God, I carry the weight of that responsibility, not in a fearful way, but in a way that reminds me how precious every moment really is. I believe we're not here just to exist, but to grow, to give, to uplift, and to leave a meaningful mark behind. We won't get a second chance to live this same life, and one day we'll be asked how we spend it. That's why I made a quiet promise to myself to live with more intention, to love more deeply, to serve with what I've been given, and to make the most of the time I still have. Not perfectly, not always boldly, but as honestly and fully as I can, one day at a time. And before you go, if any part of this spoke to you, don't just close the tab and move on. Sit with it for a moment. Ask yourself, am I really living the life I want to live? Or am I letting the time slip through my fingers? Because the truth is, you do have time. You just have to claim it. You don't need a complete life overhaul, but maybe you do need to pause more often, to look your kids in the eye, to call your parents, to say what needs to be said, to take the leap, to slow down, to love better, to forgive sooner. Because you're not meant to spend your life in a rush, constantly overwhelmed and always waiting for someday. You are meant to live it fully today. So start small. Start with the one thing that you've been putting off. That one thing you keep saying you don't have time for, but deep down, you know it matters. Block it off. Show up for it. No more waiting for the perfect time. This is the time. Because the days will pass anyway. And the question is, who are you becoming as they do? So take a breath, reclaim your time, and start making your life count, one meaningful choice at a time. Because life is short, but that doesn't mean it has to be shallow. It can still be full, and it can still be meaningful. So hold it like a melting ice cube, gently, gratefully, fully present before it's gone. And when your movie plays at the end of your life, let it be one that you're proud of. Let it be one that mattered to you, to the people you loved, and to God who gave you this breath. That's it for this episode, my friends, and thank you for being here with me. And if this episode moved you, please share it with someone you care about, because we all need the reminder that life is short. Let us not waste it. Let us make it count.